Yo, what up, Matt?
Hey, Jordan, man. I just wanted to call you and tell you, thank you so much for playing the E.N.D. cruise.
Oh, yeah, man, of course. It was really fun.
And thank you so much, dude, for being in that Felt Emo Might Delete video. That was the best day of my life.
Yeah, of course. Anything for you, man. That was really fun, too. So I was glad to do it.
And thank you so much for being in the Red Light Kisser music video and song, dude. That was awesome.
The song is so fun, and it's great. So I was stoked to be a part of that, too, man. So, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and could you, do, one last thing for me?
Sure. What is it?
Just come be on my podcast. Thanks, buddy. I'll see you tonight.
She's my red light kisser.
Welcome back to the E&D podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cutshall. As you guys know, my co-host, Gavin Simcoe. And we have a very special episode because we have an absolute legend in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jordan Pundik of Newfound Glory.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Dude, they love you.
Hi, guys. What's up?
Jordan.
Hi.
So,
Hi.
Hey, dude.
Hi, guys.
Thanks for being here.
Hi.
Hey.
You drove quite far to come hang out with us.
Yeah.
And I love you so much for that. And I literally, I feel really bad for people. I'm very empathetic and I feel people. And so when I knew that your 2-hour drive turned into almost 4 hours, it hurt me so bad. I saw, for you guys out there, Jordan pulls up, the garage is that way and we see his car. And I just, when he told me I was like, how long did it take you to get here? He's like, I left at 3. It's like 7. I'm like, oh, it hurt me.
It's okay. It was my fault for leaving when I left. So
Yeah,
whatever.
You're right. You're left at 3 o'clock when traffic starts.
Which is like the worst time to leave in Southern California.
Yeah,
So,
it is
to leave to go anywhere.
God, LA's the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, dude,
Yeah.
we have so much to talk to you about, and my first question is and I need you to be honest with me about this.
Okay.
When I don't know if it was me or who. Do you remember who reached out to you about the cruise? Was it someone from our team? Or do you? I don't remember who it was that would have reached out to you guys, but here's my question.
Was it you? Or
No.
did you? Okay.
Wasn't me. Maybe it was a booking
Wasn't me.
agent, or maybe it was.
It could have been a booking agent.
Yeah.
When you
Okay.
were told or first heard that E&D wanted Newfound Glory to play the cruise,
Yeah.
were you at all skeptical being that we were just a comedy brand? Was there any part of you, did you chat with the guys and were you like,
I don't know.
are we sure this is going to be good?
No, I think for us it was more like, all right, what bands are going to be playing?
Oh, nice.
Because we were like,
Yeah.
we were like, who do we want to hang out with?
Oh,
Because
okay.
this is like vacation. This is gonna be a
Oh.
vacation. We could bring our wives. We don't have to bring our kids. We could just play a couple shows, and it's like
Hanging out.
hanging out.
Yeah.
And so that's like, that was the
Hell
dream
yeah.
right there.
And so what bands are you were you already friends with when you came on the cruise?
So Ryan Key, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
'cause he played with us too.
Yep.
So Yellow Card. The Under Oath guys, we've known for a long time.
Did you ever
Chris Krabba?
Did you ever play with Under Oath before?
Yeah,
Probably
like,
at some
not
point, right?
like together as like us and them, but just festivals and that kind of thing. And we're both from Florida, so
Yeah.
kind of like grew up in the same sort of scene. So
Wouldn't you think?
Similar age.
So I'm a fan of Newfound Glory and I'm a fan of Under Oath, and I would like to see you guys tour together. But what blows my mind in the scene is a lot of bands don't get paired together that I think would actually work well together.
yeah.
So I'm actually shocked in the 20 years or so that you and Under Oath have been a band that you guys actually haven't hopped on a tour together.
Yeah.
Am I being crazy for thinking that? I know, Gavin, wouldn't you like to go see Newfound Glory
100%.
and Under Oath play the same night somewhere?
Is this a new thing where bands? I don't know. The genres, obviously pop punk and post hardcore,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it does seem weird that it's been separated for so long, but so close at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. It just never. It was never. I don't think it just. I don't know. I don't know why.
It's just
Because
yeah.
we've toured with hardcore bands in the past. I mean, when my band started touring, opening for hardcore bands, always, all the time.
Right.
And then we would have hardcore bands tour with us.
And you're in Florida. I mean, that's a big scene
Yeah.
for it.
yeah,
you know?
I don't know why it just never.
It
That
feels
is-
like there's a not a revival. It feels like there's more synergy between the subgenres of alternative than there has been in the past.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember back in the day, if you listen to pop punk, you know the hardcore kids wouldn't fuck with you, or if you didn't listen, if there was clean singing, the metalheads wouldn't listen to it. And it feels much more inclusive now, and less subcultured out. Am I reading that right? You think?
Well, I can only speak from my experience growing up and like going to shows and stuff, but I feel like in South Florida where we grew up and where the band started, bands would play with each other, like different types of genres would do shows together all the time because there was like nothing to do ever. So
it's there's only a few bands out there, right? That makes sense. Okay.
yeah, so like you could be playing a show on a weekend we used to play this like divey place called Club Q. It was in Davie, Florida, and it was like one of the only places to play when you're not like a big band, when you're just starting out and stuff. But other, bigger bands would actually play there. I guess not bigger bands, but like medium-sized bands.
Yeah.
And you'd play. It would be like Shy Halud and Poopy Pants, who was a ska punk band.
Poopy Pants.
Poopy Pants.
What a band name.
Yeah. Dude, ska was great.
I'm just throwing the
Damn.
names in there, but that's kind of like what it was
Yeah.
like. It was like, you'd have a ska punk band playing, and then you'd have a hardcore band playing, and then you'd have like some alternative rock band,
Did the
And so-
fans enjoy it all from what you
Yeah.
saw? Like, did they enjoy seeing you and then a hardcore band and then a ska band? Like, did they just enjoy like?
Yeah, because it was
just
just something to do,
entertainment, right?
and everyone was like, the culture was small,
Yeah,
the subculture.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
the subculture. Yeah,
The subculture was small,
Damn.
and so like
that's funny. Well, it's so
So we're not that revolutionary then.
I thought putting August Burns Red and Yellow Card on this next tour was like revolutionary.
no man, you're
but
just
yeah.
keeping it going.
Yeah, we're just keeping it going.
and that's like and people that weren't kids that are old enough now to like get into that kind of music and be on a cruise alone and like seeing you guys putting bands of different genres together, like that's cool. Like for a kid to be like only into like punk or whatever, only into metal, and then they see Yellow Card and what Emery or what everyone
for
playing
sure.
together. I don't know. It just it's cool, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you too. So, who are some of those newer bands
Okay.
that you've enjoyed listening to,
So newer, I mean,
or that you've played shows with?
Yeah.
That they've opened for you guys, or like
Sure.
who have you just been like, they're pretty dope.
I mean, off the top of my head right now, I mean, they're not like that new, but Story So Far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
that's a
great dudes. Will's played guitar for us because Chad's been away like with health stuff. So, and Will's awesome.
And they named their band after a song of yours.
That's right. They did.
Whoa! Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
Which is that's cool.
That's not just cool. That's wild.
It's sick.
They named their band after your song.
We have a song called Story So Far.
Last
and
track
so,
on Sticks and Stones. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they named
Dude, that's gotta feel
And
pretty freaking cool.
Is it all time
kidding
low
me?
too? Right.
Yeah, all time low.
Yeah.
And all time low. You
Yeah.
told me that
Yeah.
one. Damn. There wasn't
It's
one
kind of
more.
cool.
No, there was one more that you told me.
It was all time low.
Story so far, and there was one more band that you.
maybe it was the Get Up Kids that they named their band after a
We
Get Up Kids
yeah,
song.
we named we had to come up with a name for our first show, and we were all fans of the Get Up Kids, and there was a song called a newfound interest in Massachusetts is the name of the song,
Okay,
and for some reason a newfound, and then I don't know where glory came from, but
it works.
it's not that cool of a
So
story.
it's kind of
but
tradition. It's kind of
but it's like,
tradition, though.
yeah.
So who will
That's
name
sick.
their band after a Story So Far song? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone.
Yeah.
So by
I
the
feel
way,
like there might be already.
that's Gavin's a huge fan of Story So Far.
Yeah.
Big fan.
And so I love hearing that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Trying to think who else like I've been listening to lately. Like in that would be cool. Have you guys listened to that band Teenage Wrist?
No.
Have you listened to them? They're
Teenage
super
Wrist.
Teenage Wrist. They're
Wow.
super cool.
Is it like
man.
Teenage Wrist? Is that what it means?
Maybe.
It has to, right?
Yeah, maybe.
That's where my sick mind went.
Yeah.
Teenage Wrist.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be, right?
I went
like,
different. I went like
where were you going?
Like cutting or something.
Oh,
you
Teenage
know,
Wrist. Oh my
Wrist.
God.
Maybe,
Like,
maybe.
My
Yeah.
mind's way in the gutter then.
If it's emo, if it's like emo, that might make sense.
It's like
Oh wow.
yeah, but they also kind of have this like '90s sort of grunge alternative
cool.
sort of vibe going on too, and I love their band. I'm trying to think who turned me on to them a long time ago. I think it was Matt from Set Your Goals.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
This was like maybe 2015 or 2014 or something like that.
Okay.
He's like, "Have you heard Teenage Wrist? They have an EP out." I was like, "No," and I listened to the EP. I was like, "I love this EP," and now I like everything they put out.
Do you still get inspired by like new music when you hear the Story So Far put out? You know, their new record, are you just like, I got to get into the booth and like not one up them, but in the friendly competition, like, no, now I got to go back.
Well,
in
dude,
there?
I don't know. I mean, I love like listening and hearing new bands and playing new bands for my friends and like, have you heard this record? But I don't know if it really truly like gets me to want to like, I got to go write a song now, man.
Yeah.
Like, but I do like hearing and seeing sort of like hearing and like feeling out what's going on in the genre, you know
Where
what
it's
I mean?
going. Yeah.
But I don't think we'll ever be a band where we're like, well, Story So Far is writing this kind of song now, so I know we've been around a long time. Now we got to write songs like that, or else people aren't gonna like us. I don't think we've ever like done that kind of thing, you know?
Got it.
I don't know. We try to stay relevant, you know, but I don't know.
Oh yeah. Speaking to that, how do you stay relevant, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not easy to keep up with new social media that pops up every time. Now TikTok's a thing. Your band has to be on TikTok, dude. Like there's so much to it. What do you guys like? How do you guys as a band say how do you stay relevant? How do you keep going?
I think it's having a close connection with our fans. I think for all the years we've been a band, I feel like we've been really good at that. I also think like changing up our records a little, you know, like not putting out the same record over and over again. And I also think touring and bringing out new bands that we love.
Got it.
I really feel like, younger bands that really like, I feel like is an important factor for us to stay relevant.
Yeah.
You hear that, Matt?
I know.
And not be like,
I know, Gavin.
and not be like, old, like crotchety, like, I remember back in my day, the scene was like this. Like, I don't give a shit about that stuff. Like, I do not care.
I love that.
At all.
Yeah.
Like, I love hearing new stuff, and I love, like, showing it to everybody.
What was one of the first bands you saw live that brought you into the scene? Do you remember?
Like, concert or show? Concert or
Either.
show?
Whichever one, like, made you kind of fall in love with...
Probably, what got me to fall in love with punk rock shows and, like, that energy, it was like, I was young. I was 14 or 15. I had a couple older friends that were into this type of music, and we went to a Queers show.
Nice.
And the Queers.
That
wouldn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad name.
And they're a great band. They're like very Ramones, Screeching Weasel, kind of like that whole like vibe. Anyway, but that was like my first like in a dive punk rock show, sweaty.
Okay.
Like didn't know really who they were, kind of thing, and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. That's cool.
And then I think a few months later, Green Day was about to release their Dookie record, and they played that same club, and we went to that show too.
Oh wow. Yeah. How many? Like 100 people? 200 people?
No, like 400 or 500 people.
400 or 500 people. Okay. Yeah. There's something about small shows.
Yeah.
There's just something about small shows that just they're special.
Yeah.
They're so special.
The first big show was long story short, my dad worked for Amway. Do you know what Amway is?
I do know Amway.
Multi-level marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
wait, the cleaning products?
Huh?
Is it the cleaning products?
I don't know. They sold a lot of
Yo,
products.
my mom worked for Amway too. I'm not kidding.
Did she?
Like she sold Amway. Like
it was like a cult kind of thing.
Yeah, like a cult.
Yeah.
It was like
Did they ever get busted?
I've heard different things, but anyway, my dad won these concert tickets, right, from Amway, and I remember going to the concert with my dad and a work friend and his son, who was a little older than me. I was maybe 13, and it was Nirvana, the Breeders, and in the opening band they were called Come, C-O-M-E.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. C-O-M-E is fine. I thought you were going to say C-U-M. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Today's episode is brought to you by Emo's Not Dead Coffee. Have you heard of them? Emo's Not Dead Coffee is micro-roasted, fair trade, and organic. Myself and Gavin, who picked out the coffee ourselves, tried so many different flavors, so many different beans, and these won because they taste amazing. I'm a coffee snob, and you guys, I'm telling you, you got to try it. Also, if you subscribe to our E.N.D. coffee, you get 10% off on every single order. Emo's Not Dead Coffee. I should have a tagline here, but I don't. Growing up, when you started your first band, and I'll ask you what that was later, but were your parents supportive of that? Did you start by playing in the garage? Did you go to a friend's garage? Like, when did your parents catch wind that you wanted to be a musician? and how they react to that.
They were a little, at first, not so stoked. I think, but then it started to become something more than just like being in the garage. You know, we were actually playing shows on the weekends. People were coming to see us play. They would come see us play eventually. And I think it wasn't until we were going to be signed to Drive Thru Records. It wasn't until Richard and Stephanie from Drive Thru Records, came to Florida and met with all of our parents. And we had a big family meeting with like Ian's parents and Chad's parents and Cyrus's parents. Cyrus actually had a full ride scholarship to the University of Miami. To like his dad was like a pretty famous heart surgeon in South Florida.
Oh wow!
Did the first heart transplant in like the 80s, and so he had a full ride. Cyrus.
So his dad was very disappointed.
His dad was very disappointed.
A surgeon,
Yeah.
a doctor.
Yeah.
His son wants to play what kind of music? Yeah. Damn.
So it wasn't until then that Richard and Stephanie came and they're like, look, these guys have something, and we want to see that through. Like we think that these guys have something cool and it could become something. So they bought us a van, and
damn.
my parents were, once that part hit, my parents were like, okay, like you can always go back to college, you can always go back to school, that kind of thing.
And how did you get their attention? How did you get the label's attention?
I think what happened was we were on a local Florida label called Eulogy Records, put out Nothing Gold Can Stay, which came out, the original release came out in '99. And then I think Gabe from Midtown, do you remember Midtown?
Yeah,
Gabe
Supporta, yeah.
We had done some shows and stuff, just like in Jersey or whatever. We were, really, really small band still. We were, and
Wait, sorry, why'd you mention Gabe? You played shows with his band?
yeah, so he had our CD, our Nothing Gold Could Stay CD.
Oh, okay, got it.
And Richard and Stephanie Drive Thru was signing Midtown,
Oh, I see. Okay.
and he's like, "Have you heard this band yet?" And Richard and Stephanie were like, "Oh my gosh, like no, like whatever." So then they came to Florida, saw us play a pool party.
They they flew there
They
to
flew
see
to
you
Florida
guys?
from,
That's
from
sick.
Jersey.
I love that.
I don't know if they were in Jersey or living in, because they're in Sherman Oaks. Is that where? Yeah.
We're close to Sherman
Yeah,
Oaks.
close to Sherman Oaks. Yeah, I can't remember if they were already here, or if they were still from living in Jersey. But yeah, Gabe played them the CD, and we were playing a pool party. They reached out to us like through email or like AIM. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they're like, yeah, we're playing this pool party, and it's a Sweet 16, and then we're playing another show at like on a half pipe.
Were you hired to play the pool party?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So you're okay.
like kind of higher. Like we knew the girl that was
Okay,
like having the party and stuff, so
got it.
they came to that pool party.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
And how
that's
old were you?
wild.
How old were you?
I was like 17.
Oh wow.
I started the band when I was 97, so I was like 17 years old.
Okay, and that was that first band, Newfound Glory.
Yes.
That okay, got it. So that was the
I
first.
did some little things here and there, nothing.
Okay, that's what I was wondering if you had started in a different band first before you left that one and started. So wow, so
Yeah.
damn,
I was in a hardcore
fresh.
band called X Fault Line X that played one show, half of one show.
yeah, half of one show.
At a coffee
Why
shop.
half?
At a
Why
coffee
half?
shop. What?
Why
What happened
half?
to the other half?
I just I was playing guitar in this band, and like I didn't know how to play guitar great, like
Yeah.
and my strings broke, and I just
And
didn't
you're
have
like, I'm
any
done.
more strings.
Okay, so now I'm done. Oh my god, bro.
Did you stay on stage and pretend?
No,
or
I
did-
left. I walked off stage.
Damn.
That's
Okay,
funny.
so this is super interesting. So
Yeah.
when you started playing these shows and you started getting some traction, this label got your CD from Gabe.
Yes.
So Gabe from Midtown gave them your CD.
Yeah.
And now they came out and they saw you. And then what happened? Did they on the spot say, "We want to sign you guys"? Did they call you later? Like what happened after that show?
So then we played a show on a half pipe, like in a skate park.
Mhm.
And it was after that show, I think, I can't, like, timeline wise gets a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
But it was after those couple shows they saw us where they were like, "We want to sign you guys."
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I didn't really know who Drive Thru Records were. I knew the band Phoenix TX. Phoenix TX was River Phoenix. They were called River Phoenix, but they changed their name to Phoenix TX, and they were on Drive Thru. So that was like the only connection I had to Drive Thru.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, I know Phoenix TX. Like they tour with Blink and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
so maybe, I don't know, maybe this could
Maybe
be a
this
cool
could be
thing."
something. Yeah.
And then they reached out and said they wanted to sign us, and that was it.
So, did them signing you everyone thinks, and maybe it was a little bit different back then, but I know it's sure as hell isn't this day, is everyone thinks I get signed and like I made it, right?
Yeah.
Like way back when, I feel like it was more of a thing to be like, we're gonna sign you and make you the biggest thing in the world, and then that band could blow up and signing changed their life.
Yeah.
Did signing that deal, did it change your life? What did you notice? Like, how did you guys excel so much faster with that label?
So yes, you're correct about like signing, and then all of a sudden you can be this big thing, or sometimes you're not. But I think that was more like dealing with like the major label side of things, where Drive Thru was still an independent label, and they only had a few bands on the roster, and they were eventually going to have this deal with MCA Records, Interscope MCA, Universal kind of thing, where it's like this upstream thing. So we knew that was a potential if like the band did well enough. You know, you get upstream to MCA. We were already playing a lot of shows, and we were touring in a van, and they bought us a brand new van. So then that was kind of like what motivated us to get out on the road more.
Got it. That support.
And Ian, my bass player, from day one, he's like, if we want to become a popular band, we got to tour. And some of us were like, I don't know. Like, I was going to Art Institute like at the time, like just started that, and I didn't know if I wanted to like be in a full-time touring band yet. And Ian was working at like Einstein Bagels, and he like, as soon as we got got asked to be on Drive Thru or got signed to Drive Thru, he like quit his job before we even like went on our first tour. And he took Richard and Stephanie aside. He's like, listen, you got to convince these guys that touring is what's going to make our band or break our band, right? So that's what happened. Richard and Stephanie were like, you guys got to tour. You guys want to be popular. You guys want to make this happen for you guys. You got to go on tour.
You guys did that climb, and you put in that work, and that's why your fans are so hardcore.
And I think talking about relevancy, I think that's why we're still relevant, because we never just like put out one song or what. So anyway, so like we had this song called Hit or Miss. Richard and Stephanie, they were friends with Corey Feldman. So like we're gonna do this video for the song Hit or Miss, the original version from our Nothing Gold Could Stay record. We're gonna get Corey Feldman in the video. It's gonna be like this home video, like cops. We did this whole cops thing. And he was a cop and stuff, and that was kind of like the start of people starting to know us more from that song. And then we just kept touring, and then eventually we were able to get upstream to MCA. It was Drive Thru MCA.
Then so before you got upstream, how many people were coming to your shows then before they decided to upstream you?
I would say a couple hundred people.
Okay, got it. So you were drawing a couple hundred people now.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's great. Yeah, you
mostly
were
East Coast. We hadn't really come out this way too much yet. Like right after we signed with Drive Thru, we started coming out west more.
Got it.
Like Orange County. Orange County was like one of the first like cities to kind of like embrace us.
Got it.
Orange County, LA, San Diego.
And who are you touring with at the time? Was there any bands that like you came up with that are still around? Or
Midtown, RX Bandits. Those were like kind of like the first bands we would tour with.
Yeah.
Something corporate.
Oh, cool.
Like that. But actually, I will say like it wasn't until later on when like one of the biggest tours we had done was like us and Something Corporate and Finch and Further Seems Forever.
That's a great lineup.
Yeah,
that's a big tour.
And that was like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, and that was big for the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We did direct support for Blink. And
what year was that?
2001.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
So that was Enema.
That was Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Oh, no.
And
or
also,
maybe it was 02. I think it was 2002.
Yeah.
Also,
Shoot, man, I can't remember.
not direct support for Blink. That's
huge.
I mean that's
Yeah.
huge.
We were like right before
Like
that.
when you guys got that, we were like, holy shit, we're
Yeah.
direct support for Blink.
Yeah,
that
it
is
was a holy
crazy.
shit moment.
Damn.
And they
that's
were an
a-
inspiration for you. I mean, you
Totally,
like,
yeah. I mean, Ian, especially our bass player Ian, and we used to go see Blink play like in front of 200 people in Miami.
Yep.
In these places, and Ian would always be on stage with his video camera and his Unwritten Law hat and his backpack on, and be like, "Who's this fucking dork on stage all the time? Blink plays here." And it's like, and we're like, "What the hell?" And so Ian used to be the guy that would like bring the weed to the shows.
Yeah.
And he
Nice.
would like hang out, and so that's how we kind of like, sort of like got our in with Blink,
Yeah.
when the band was first starting. And
You heard it here first, guys. Blink-182 smokes weed.
this is so
They
long
just
ago.
get canceled for smoking weed. Damn.
I think it was maybe like one guy that smoked weed.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but
Yeah, it was Scott. He's not in the band anymore.
Yeah, I think that was true.
Did Blink? So did Blink recognize you guys as up and coming talent? And do you think they
Later
were
on, yeah.
say that
Yeah,
again?
later on, they did.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, we put out our first major label record. We had re-recorded the song "Hit or Miss," and that was kind of doing well. So this was like 2000, 2001 ish time. And Mark came to one of our shows in San Diego. And he's like, "You guys are cool." We went and got pizza.
No shit.
And I remember like being in his like BMW. He had this like, this was 2001 or so, 2000. Timeline, like,
Yeah,
I'm so screwed with timeline.
By the way, I
dude.
feel you on that, bro.
Like
I feel
dates
you.
and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's kind of, this is the gist.
It was the early 2000s.
It was early 2000s.
Okay.
It's the gist,
Okay.
right? And I remember he had like one of those like 10 disc changers in his trunk.
Yeah,
of
I had one of
the
those.
BMW. And we were going to get pizza or something like near the venue. And I remember sitting in his car, and when this car turned on, it was so loud. He had our record like in his car, like blasting.
No shit.
Yeah. So
God, that's gotta feel cool.
That was a cool experience, you know. Going,
Damn.
And then we ended up getting the same manager as them, this, Rick DeVoe.
Okay, got it.
And that's kind of how. Then we got on tour with them and like that kind of thing.
Have you guys ever thought about breaking up or kicking out a band member for a period of time to get back together to do a
I know, that'd be
tour?
so huge.
Yeah, like that Blink comeback was so
Dude, yeah.
massive.
I know, it's
And
awesome.
I feel like it's only possible with a breakup and then a coming back.
Well,
Sometimes I feel like it's planned.
I
don't know if it's-
sometimes
Not that one.
not
but
Blink, but I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think that a lot of these bands will plan it and be like, we're gonna break up, and then like give it a few years, and then they come back together. I think that stuff can
Is
be
Sum
planned.
41 really breaking up?
I don't know.
Yeah, give
I
us
don't
the
know.
scoop, dude.
I have no scoops.
Wait, you guys are playing with them soon, right? Are you guys playing with
with
them?
Some?
With some?
Or-
No.
Well, we're doing
Who's
the-
playing? Wait,
Oh,
who's
when you were
going?
young.
Yeah, when we were young. That's-
Yeah.
No, but wait, sorry.
Simple
who?
Plan.
Simple Plan's going out with Sum 41 and someone else. No,
I think you're right.
and that's their last tour.
Yeah, there's 2
Oh,
tours
okay.
left. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, none
and
of
I'm
them.
assuming you guys have probably played a shit ton of shows with Sum 41.
Yeah,
Like you
we
guys
did.
have probably toured together.
We have, yeah. We did like one of their very first tours. We were opening. It was us, Alkaline Trio, and Face to Face.
Oh, nice.
Face to Face was headlining.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I believe like
My, how the
Alkaline.
tables have turned.
The tables have turned. The tables have turned.
And I want to say that Saves the Day was on a bunch of the shows too. See, timeline.
Yeah,
can't remember.
I get
But
it.
Anyway, it was like that same tour, and I can't remember who played when or whatever. But Sum 41 played a bunch of the shows. Like one band left, and then Sum 41 came on. And we're like, who's this band with all this like brand new like road cases and stuff? Like, you know, we didn't know anything about them.
Yeah.
And they got on stage, and they were just like insanely good.
Yeah.
Like just shredding.
Just shredding.
We're like,
damn.
whoa, these guys are good.
Hey boys, sorry to interrupt your podcast, but I have some exciting cruise news. The E.N.D. Cruise Year 2 is completely sold out. However, we do have a cruise cabin for 2 that we will be giving away to 1 lucky YouTube subscriber. Just make sure you're subscribed to our channel, like our videos, and let's see you in the comments. We're gonna scroll through the comments and pick one of you guys to give a cruise to. That's all the news I have for today. Have a great show, guys.
What's your craziest fan interaction?
So when Jimmy Kimmel first started his show, he had he co-host, you know, and Snoop Dogg was his co-host for like the first week of the show. We played on the show, hanging out in the green room backstage, and we got to hang out with Snoop. And Snoop's just started like singing. We played 2 songs, like one on air and one for the fans that were there. So we played a song called Understatement, and we did My Friends Over You. Did My Friends Over You on the air. So afterwards, we're like hanging out, and Snoop comes over. He's like, I like that song, man. It was like, I sick a smile. And he just started singing the song to us. And then Ian, of course, who was like, at the time, like, you know, our weed guy, was like, I got weed.
So he got along with Snoop immediately.
Yeah, got along with Snoop immediately. We all went and like hung out in his green room, and we were all in this circle, and it was like everyone was passing it around, and he was like freestyle rapping into our video camera and stuff. And, like,
Damn.
Where's all this footage at?
I don't know who has it. I don't know, maybe
Ian?
That would
maybe
be so
Ian has
sick
it.
to find.
By the way, Ian has been sober for, I don't know, 10, 15 years now.
Okay.
Good for him.
So yeah.
Good for him.
Snoop Dogg.
We're all-
That's
we're all-
huge.
Yeah.
And that was, you said that was backstage of Jimmy
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, I love hearing about Jimmy Kimmel performances too, because I have some friends who have played Jimmy Kimmel and have been like, live TV is the most nerve-wracking thing that I've ever done.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same?
Yeah.
Is it way different than just a normal show?
This one was actually a little but this one was actually a little better because it was built like a show. Because the stage was
Oh.
outside in the parking lot.
Got it. That's
And-
way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah. it was
Okay.
way- I mean, you still have like your little weird vibes because you're like there's cameras and stuff around, and then everyone has to like cheer and like Jimmy's like newfound glory, whatever, and then we have to like start the song
Yeah.
and like just try and like put on the best show we can.
Yeah.
For that.
And you go in cold, right? There's no
Yeah.
opener. There's
No,
nobody's
just
warmed
going
up.
Nope. Just going up there.
Have you had shows? Obviously, like when you guys first started, did you have some shows where you'd show up to a bar to play and there'd be 3 people there, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, here we go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like especially when we first started.
Yeah.
I remember we showed
Rough.
this one show in Pennsylvania, and I remember I think we got on the show, and they're like, "Yeah, this band Catch 22 is gonna play," and we all knew Catch 22. They were like this ska punk band or whatever, and we're like, "Yeah, awesome." And we show up, and it was literally the girl that put on the show, and then the other band that was on the tour with us.
Yeah.
So we played just for each other.
For each other.
And the
Oh,
girl.
I've had that before.
Oh.
Oh my God.
So moving past a little bit, past
Yeah.
Newfound Glory, you have like this tattoo thing that's going on right now. When did you start tattooing? Was this back in the art institute? You were drawing?
No. Well, I've always drawn stuff like little doodles and weird things, but I started tattooing and I did an actual real apprenticeship for a year in Nashville.
When?
This was 2012.
Okay.
You did a
11,
year
2012.
apprenticeship?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just under a year.
Okay.
And it was great. My mentor, E.N.D, he's a tattooer in Nashville, and he has an amazing shop. I'm gonna do a little plug for Ian. What's up?
What's up, Ian?
Safe House Tattoo in
Safe House
East
Tattoo?
Nashville. I met him actually through the Hawthorne Heights guys. He was friends with them because he was an Ohio guy, and they're from Ohio, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I was gonna say Ohio is for lovers. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
They're from Ohio. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he was friends with them and tattooed them and on their bus, tattooing them on tour with them on Warped Tour, that kind of thing. And I met him
Yeah.
on Warped Tour. And then several years later, Bayside was on tour with us, and he was friends with Chris and Nick from Bayside, tattooing them on their bus and riding for a few days. And we just became friends, and he tattooed me. And he's like, man, like your little doodles will be so cool as tattoos. I'm like, yeah, but people don't really want that kind of. People just want like bold, like big stuff and colorful things, and I just can't do that. And he's like, well, if you ever want to learn, come to Nashville, I'll teach you. And I was like, okay.
And you took him up on it. Wow.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, for many years, like my wife included, she's like, people are always like, have you ever thought about tattooing? Like, I love your little drawings,
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd be good enough, and I'm still like, I tell myself how not good I am, but I don't know. I just kept doing it on and off between touring and that kind of thing, and it's just turned into a cool little thing
Damn.
that I do like as a little side thing.
Do you get, obviously you're good enough to do it, and I've seen your work and it looks great, but do you get nervous doing it, hoping that you don't mess up?
Oh yeah, my pits are sweating
Okay,
and
okay.
stuff. Sorry, just keeping
I
the mic.
was gonna say I would be so nervous putting permanent ink on somebody.
But I kind of like put it out there when I'm dealing with people and emailing back and forth. When people write me that they want tattoos, I'm like, I have like stipulations, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do like ribs. I don't want to, I feel very lucky to be able to do that because there's thousands and thousands of people that tattoo as like their main thing.
Yeah.
And they don't have that luxury, which I feel very lucky in that regard, where I can just pick and choose what I want to do and where I want to tattoo people.
Yeah.
Because I know what my limits are, you know what I mean?
Totally.
And I know like a lot of the old school guys would be like, well, you got to just do it all. But for me, it's more like, I don't know. For me, it's more than that. It's like it's the whole experience. It's like the one-on-one with people that I'm meeting, that kind of thing. So knock on wood, like everyone's been super cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Like,
you. We're
like-
not gonna.
like,
Yeah,
thank you
you're
for
right. We're
being
not
cool
putting
if
that
you-
out there.
Yeah.
Only if you're not gonna freak out, get a tattoo by this guy.
Yeah.
Has there been a weird or challenging place you have tattooed somebody?
Weird in the sense of like the guy kept passing out
Oh, really?
like full on the ground, fishing out.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Where were
Because
you?
he
like
was-
so. I'm already an anxious person, and that was like.
Oh man.
Where were you tattooing him?
So my buddy Kelly, who I tattoo with sometimes in Orange County, it was at his studio, and this guy came in. He had emailed me. We were going back and forth. Okay, let's like figure out what he's like. I want like a little like a wave, like a Japanese wave thing. And I was like, cool, like that's line work up my alley kind of thing. He comes into the studio and he's like, hey man, just so you know, I only have a couple tattoos, and my last tattoo I passed out. Isn't that crazy? And I was like,
Oh God.
and I'm like, oh man, okay. So I'm like, it's cool, man. Like we'll just take it slow, and I'll do a little line so you can kind of remember the vibe and everything. So he sits in the chair, and I just I get going, and he's like, hold on. And I didn't even put the needle into him yet. He's like, can you just give me a second? And I was
Didn't
like,
even touch him yet.
yeah.
Hold on.
And I'm like, oh man, here we go. And so he's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm like, okay. So I do the first line. He's like, can you please stop? And I was like, okay, man. Like, sure, man. Take your time. Like, whatever. He's like, I passed out on my last day. I'm like, yeah, you told me that before we started. He's like, I'm gonna take it slow. No, don't worry. So then I do the next line, and he just full on, just flat on his face on the, he had on the concrete floor, and he's just moving around. Like I'm like, I didn't know what to do at that point because that's never ever happened to me. And so Kelly gets up, he like takes his gloves off, and he's like flustered because he like knows how to deal with this kind of thing. And he had these little cans of Coca-Cola, and so we sit the kid up, and he's kind of like out of it, and we give him the Coke because sometimes it's like just low blood sugar, didn't eat or something. And he opens the Coke and he pours the Coke on his head.
Stop, dude.
I swear. He puts the Coke on his head. And both Kelly and I were like, what is happening right now? So the guy gets up and
Sticky.
he's sticky. He's wet from the Coca-Cola. And he goes and sits down on the couch. I'm like, here, man, just sit on the couch. Like, here's a towel. Give him a little towel. And he wipes off and he's like, I don't know what's going on, man. I just feel like crazy. Like, I don't just, I passed out once before. I was like, yeah, you already told me that. And he just, so long story short, he never got the tattoo finished. So it's a half-done tattoo. And he's just walking around with a half-done tattoo by me.
And he's probably never gonna finish it because he's
Probably
probably
not.
that is
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh man.
And yeah.
He's got two
I-
lines. He's got two
he's got-
lines.
he's got
Two
two
lines.
lines.
It's 2 lines. It's a
Beautiful.
little triangle like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, by the way, okay,
That's definitely a crazy fan
So
story.
that I was gonna say that's a valid crazy fan story. For
Oh
sure.
man, I was, yeah.
Damn.
That's awesome.
Do you think there was any part of him also being nervous that it was you?
Maybe.
Because it could have been a combination of him freaking out that it's you and him also being freaked out by needles, and it could have just been sensor
could have been a
overload.
yeah.
You know?
The
Yes,
last
that's
tattoo though, he passed out just the same. Who knows? They might have poured Coke on his head that time too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I-
true.
yeah.
That's true.
I don't know. He didn't, because when he came in, he kind of looked like more like a, I don't judge books by their cover,
But he looked tough.
he didn't look tough.
Oh, he didn't look tough. Oh, okay.
He was like, he kind of looked like a curly hair, bearded, like John Mayer or something.
Okay.
He was wearing like a Grateful Dead shirt.
yeah.
And I was like, this guy knows,
soft
like, how does he
vibes.
know?
Very soft.
He doesn't seem like a fan of the band, that kind of thing.
okay,
So I was like,
okay.
I don't know, maybe he just saw on my Instagram, didn't really connect the thing. I don't know.
I know that you meditate,
Yeah.
and I do too.
Not well.
Not
but
well.
yeah.
Because last time we chatted, you did some sort of meditation, and it was super interesting. What was it? Was it a retreat?
Yeah, so there's a place called Deer Park Monastery,
Okay.
and there was a Buddhist monk, a Vietnamese Buddhist monk. His name is Thich Nhat Hanh.
Mm-hmm.
He has these monasteries all over. So there's one randomly here in Southern California in Escondido, which is close to where I live, in near San Diego. He has one in Paris. He's got one in Vietnam, and I don't remember how we found it. My wife actually found it. She was the first one to go to this place, and you go and you just have this like whole experience. So you're with the nuns and the monks, and they do like a walking meditation. They do like a Dharma talk. They do like all these things, and then the food is amazing. By the way, it's like all this vegetarian, vegan food.
Really?
and you just have they regularly have what's called a day of mindfulness where you can just go and show up and be among what they do. But yeah, they do like full on retreats. You can stay for a month if you wanted to.
Wow.
They do like the day ones. They do a week-long ones. Yeah. So
And how long were you there for?
the last one I was there for just the day.
Oh, just a day. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
And
then my
then-
wife was there. She did the last time was, I think she was there for a week.
Okay.
So yeah.
Have you done a longer one before?
No, I have not done one.
What was her experience after being there for a week? Did she come back fairly enlightened, different? Like what was her experience?
She comes back and she's very chill, right?
Mm-hmm.
She is definitely more motivated to meditate more
Yeah.
on the daily, and make it a daily practice. And for longer periods, she comes back being really good at like meditating for longer,
Mm-hmm.
which I envy. But because we have kids, and one of our kids is kind of quite challenging, it's hard to reintegrate yourself back into daily life when you've been around silence for 7 days.
Whoa.
So
That's got to be
so
tough to
it's
dive
tough,
back in. Yeah.
Yeah. But the experience is rad. Like,
Yeah.
who doesn't want to be able to eat good food? But the whole like thing about it is it's all just about being mindful.
Yeah.
And mindful eating,
Yeah.
mindful walking, mindful.
Mindful,
You know,
just
breathing.
living mindful. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I shared this with you, my on-site experience. Didn't we talk about that a little bit?
Yes.
And so I did a full week, similar to your wife, where it's not meditating for a week, but it is a week of no computer, no phones, no social media,
Yeah, that's
no
right.
radio, no TV. There's literally all you can do is just you go back to your room, you can read books, you fall asleep, and you wake up and you actually listen to the birds. You actually, like, your first thought isn't like looking at your phone and seeing something weird going on in the world, but your first thought is just like, oh, it smells good out here. Oh, the sky is blue today. And experiencing what I did for a full week, coming back, I didn't want to come back. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's the life that we were actually born and meant to live. We weren't meant to have this crazy technology. We weren't meant to just work 9 to 5 every single day and stare at computers. So I always bond with people, and I'm always curious to hear their stories, like I asked about your wife, because my experience was so good.
Yeah.
So good, and it's still stuck with me. I'm kind of back in the grind and
Yeah, of course.
doing back to work, but dude, there was something so beautiful about completely unplugging and doing crazy workshops and learning more about myself and coming back just completely refreshed.
Yeah.
It
when
was
you-
really special.
when you had the ability to use your phone again, where you're like, damn it.
I didn't want it.
Yeah. You didn't
I
want
didn't want it. They gave everyone their phones back the very last night, night 7, and I didn't get it right away.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to leave my phone until I have to have it. And then I grabbed it and just turned it on to tell Ariel that I was done. And she was in Nashville at the time waiting for me, that she can pick me up tomorrow or
Yeah.
whatever. And I turned on my phone, and I just remember just seeing all the notifications come in and
From me?
and from Gavin. Dear God, so many from Gavin. The work emails, the cruise. We got to book more bands for the cruise. You don't want to know. And I just remember just being like, damn, this is not. In the moment, I was like, this is not what life's supposed to be about.
Yeah.
And obviously, yes, we have to work to make money. Like, absolutely. But I feel like there has to be a balance of enjoying the short life that we have.
Yeah.
And while still, working and making money and taking care of your family, because I've just been, and Gavin, I know why Gavin now works with me, is we're very business-minded people, and we're very career people. That's all that I've cared about for the longest time. And I know that that's just been your driver, is just like business and work. But there's so much more to life. And that on-site trip really helped me realize that again.
Having a kid made me realize that.
Yeah.
Dude,
You know,
yes.
like Zayo.
But then it also made you realize you have to make more money.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
shit.
it's such a catch.
Catch
It's such a
22,
catch.
damn.
It's like, yeah, I had Zayo as my son's name in January,
That's
and
cool.
it's like,
That's a cool name.
Yeah, thank you. It's
Your
yes, yes. But yeah, it was like it you know, like I don't go fishing, but took him fishing over Memorial Weekend. He's 4 months old. He doesn't, you know, but it's just like
Experience.
I have to give him the experience. I have to get him to see a lake and see some trees and
touch the water. And
right. But for me, like my wife is like, you know, what are you gonna do on your Friday night? And I'm like, I'm gonna work. Not because I have to work. I like working.
Yeah.
I like checking that box off, getting that thing done, progressing, being innovative, so I've never had anything, because I like what I do, I've never had anything pull me away from what I do, because I like doing that shit, you know? And so it's been really, mindfulness with my son has been insane.
it's
you love working, but like what have you changed since having a kid to be like, actually, I am gonna clock out at this time. I am gonna let that wait, like,
nothing yet.
Because you don't.
Yeah, Gavin.
Because dude.
No, nothing yet, but I want to, and that's a first.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That
like,
makes sense.
like I want to, and I will take the opportunity when I can. But like, it's just knowing that I would like that, or I would like to just have a Saturday with my son, just like rolling around on the couch and scaring him and doing like stupid shit,
Just being cute.
just being cute. And so this is like a new unlock for me, where I'm like, the last 8 years has just been grind mode.
Yeah.
And
And
now I'm
now you
finally
have
like,
another
oh,
life to take care of,
How
and
do I get to the nothing moments?
That's
now?
cool.
you got to, dude. You got to find those, man.
Yeah,
Obviously
will.
I love and appreciate your work, but like you work harder than anyone that I know, and I feel like taking moments of silence, which you never do, enjoy it.
Yeah.
And when you had your first kid, when was that? How long ago?
2010.
In 2010. Okay,
13?
first kid in 2010.
Yeah.
And
It'll be 13 October.
what do you remember changing for you? What like was there a drastic holy shit, this is what life's supposed to be moment? Was there
Partially.
Yeah.
Partial to that. But also like not taking as much risks as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the biggest things was I used to like bring my surfboard with me to like different countries and go out and just fuck off with nobody around, nobody knowing, and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And after I had my first kid, I was like, I don't know if I should be doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're
One freak accident out there, and then
he was born, and I was out with a friend surfing, and it was a bigger day, and we just got our asses handed to us, and laying on the sand, the two of us like out of breath and just like, what are we doing? You know, kind of
Damn.
thing. And after that, I was like, you know, you just start thinking about your own mortality, you know, more.
Yeah.
Now he makes me want to kill myself, but
Yeah. Now you want to get out there on the biggest waves.
When's
Like,
the
I'm
next
just gonna
tour?
fuck it. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
but like, and you know, and also touring, I missed out on a lot of things, which was hard, you know, at first. Luckily now, like.
You're touring and having a child, is that what you're saying? Like you missed out on a lot with your child, is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, I missed out. You know, birthdays, that kind of, you know, holiday stuff, that kind of thing. But
Wow, even in 2013, you were unable to schedule your tours around your family. Like that's just not possible.
we just didn't. Like we were like hardcore tours, like touring band. Like we just always.
That's how you make your living. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
I get it.
we're gone like so much, and now we're at the, you know, now in the last few years we're at the point where we can like
Bring them.
do a tour. Well, yeah, I can bring them, but they don't really like do a tour, a whole tour, right? We book a whole tour. That's like a month and a half long, but we'll do like 2 weeks, go home for 3 weeks, then do the other
That makes
2 weeks.
sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
as
that's
opposed to, like,
easier.
The grinding every day for a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being away.
And your kid, is he at the
Yeah. I got
is he at the age right now where his friends are like, your dad's at Newfound Glory? Has that happened yet?
Yeah, but he doesn't really talk about it much. Like my older one he likes this genre, some stuff, some of the newer things. He likes Machine Gun Kelly, and he likes Sum 41, and he likes Lil Lotus. You ever heard of Lil Lotus?
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't
He
heard
likes
of him.
a couple of his songs.
Okay.
But he's mostly into more like hip hop stuff right now.
Got it.
And I just die inside because I'm like, there's all this great music you could be listening to.
Yeah.
But instead it's just like, yeah, I don't know, you know, like
It's
that
it's like the mumble
mumbly,
rap
like
and the
drugs, like and a lot of the stuff goes over his head, you know, thankfully, I think.
Yeah.
Because when he talks about it, he's like, I just like the way it sounds.
Yeah. By the way, I believe that completely because that was me back then listening to some of the worst music I should be listening to, and it just sounded good. So I listened to it.
And we have our family therapist,
Yeah.
which she's great, and it's like she's like, with music you can't like shame him. You gotta just give wide berth, let him figure it out on his own.
I believe in that.
Yeah.
I believe in that. And though I was super sheltered, and I appreciate some of the sheltering that my mom did for me, when I got thrown into high school, so I was private schooled and homeschooled all up until high school, and I got thrown into a public high school of 3,000 people. So I had
After all those years
of nothing, not knowing what this band was, not listening to this kind of music. So I wish that I was a little bit more prepared.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm very lucky that I didn't get made fun of a whole lot for not knowing anything. I didn't know any sexual term. I didn't know like when people would say like blowjob, I was like, what's a blowjob? Like, what is that? And I'm like 14 or 15. I should have known what that was, right? So I agree with that.
Late bloomer.
What's that?
Late bloomer.
I'm a late bloomer.
Yeah, I was
a very, very late bloomer.
Yeah.
And I love what your therapist said about letting your kid is going to discover the music he discovers, and don't shame. Don't shame him for it.
Yeah, you shouldn't shame your kid really on much.
Why not? That's the whole point of having kids.
Well, but
Shame him.
the whole point, you got to shame your kids.
The whole point is
You got to,
shame your
you
kids.
have kids to shame somebody. You can finally shame someone. If your son was listening to something like really dark or like satanic or something weird, would you step in and say something then?
I would. I
Yeah.
mean, we definitely have talks about like the content, because it's not so much like the language; it's more the content. You know. And like I said, a lot of it just whatever. Like, he's ADHD, he's Tourette's, he's OCD, he's got all that stuff. So it's not like, it's more like the sensory of it, like the way it sounds. I think more than the content, but. It's still kind of I think it still gets in there subconsciously. So it's like you have to still have those conversations of like, you know, degrading women sucks, like that kind. Like,
No, totally.
Like you know, what I'm
You're
saying.
right.
Like
So he doesn't learn. So he doesn't learn from those from his
Right.
favorite rappers that you don't treat a woman that way, the way they
Right.
talk about it and whatnot.
You are featured on some iconic records, and one of which I actually found out that you're on this record researching for this
Okay.
podcast.
Yeah.
Cat Like Thief
Yeah.
on Boxcar Racer.
Boxcar Racer.
I think that is like the Paramount emo record.
Yeah.
I really hold that record in the highest regard in the post-hardcore emo genre.
Mhm.
What was it like recording? How did that come about? What?
Yeah. So for people that don't know, I sang on Cat Like Thief, Boxcar Racer record. That was just background vocals. I didn't do any like features or anything. Yeah, and it was Tim Armstrong and I. And so yeah, people are like, where are you on that song? I don't know. And it's just background vocals.
You're in the melody.
But
the
it lists you as a feature,
I
and
think it does.
On your
Yeah.
wiki, it does for
Yeah,
sure.
I think
Okay.
it says it in the record too. I'm pretty sure. And that was fun. Like like I had said earlier, like we were managed by the same managers, Rick DeVoe, and at the time, and I had already toured Blink and everything, and we already had a relationship. We knew each other. We lived in the same town, and Tom was recording that record, and he's like, "Want to come to the studio and do backup vocals?" You know, like. I was like, yeah, it'd be awesome. And so that's kind of that's it.
That's
like,
rad.
That's
It's
it.
just the three.
Damn.
It's just him and I and the engineer of the record. And
It is hard to pick you out
yeah,
because I obviously listened to it today, and I was
Yeah.
like, where? And I was like, oh, this must
don't
be him.
leave.
Yep.
there it is.
Yeah,
And-
don't leave her.
And I stole some lines out of that song for my vows.
Oh,
so
nice.
That was that's
Very
a
cool.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Stole
wild.
air from my lungs, dude.
She stole air from your lungs.
Yeah.
You're true emo, bro.
Oh yeah.
You were
Dude,
true emo.
Dude, it was littered with
Oh.
lines and lyrics that I had just been inspired by.
And then
for-
you're like, though you swear that you were true, I'd still pick my friends over you. Just kidding. That was
Yeah, it ended up there.
sorry.
Okay, fan questions. These are going to be rapid fire. Fans, thanks for submitting these questions. First one, will you be playing your oldies at When We Were Young?
Yes, it will be a
Nice.
set list of all hits.
Set list of hits.
Yes.
Let's go. How does your voice still sound so good?
Oh, thank you. I don't know.
Oh.
See, I'm doing it again. I'm answering with an I don't know, and you're not supposed to do that.
Any
Rule
training?
number 1 of interview rules: don't answer with I don't know. No train. Yeah, I've had some coaching and that through the years, but yeah, I just kind of go out there and wing it.
You just wing it.
Love that.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy? Like
true
when
talent.
you
Try not to yell too much.
when you came and you sang on Red Light Kisser,
Yeah.
I remember like even with Andrew, like he like looked back like yeah, and I was like Jordan still got it. He still got it.
You know what? I don't try to focus too much on pitch. I just try to focus on just getting it
Deliver
in
it, just the delivery.
Yeah.
Oh, so
there. I used to
good.
focus more on pitch and like and just nitpick. But yeah. Anyway.
I feel like when you try to focus too much on that, you just get in your head.
Yes.
Versus it just giving it like you just gave it your performance, and that was all we needed. It was sounded great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for doing that, by the way. Okay, favorite song to play live.
Oh man. Well,
Is that
I have
a
a
tough-
lot of songs? Yeah.
Let's go top three.
Top three?
Sorry, not just top three. 3 of your favorite songs, or a
Okay.
couple of your favorite songs.
Probably okay. So, I love playing Understatement from Sticks and Stones. I love playing Greatest of All Time from our last record, Forever and Ever Times Infinity. And I like playing. Let's see, one more fast song. I like playing the fast songs.
Yeah,
It gets the people riled.
yeah.
Actually, that is a true statement. But I think for the 3, since we're talking about 3, I would say Failure's Not Flattering.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's your problem? Getting everybody to sing that.
yeah.
It's really fun.
Hell yeah. Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Do you ever write music for the show, for the live performance? Like, does that ever enter your writing?
Oh, like writing parts for the show.
yeah, where you're like,
we
this is
do.
gonna be fun to perform.
Yeah, we when we plan a set, we'll like be like, okay, like maybe for this part we can
Yeah.
get them to sing back or whatever. Yeah.
Cool.
Gavin, there was a fun question that you had there that we didn't know, and we're like, we got to ask him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, here it is. Newfound Glory is my most seen band live. Tell me about the Intersection in Grand Rapids. What does that mean?
Oh, the Intersection is a venue in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
That's it.
We thought something happened in
I
an
was like, what
intersection. Like,
happened?
was there some juice that happened?
Yeah.
It's just an intersection there.
Yeah, no.
Oh, sorry. It's sorry.
the
It's just called the intersection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
So what's the
Okay.
question though?
Tell me about the intersection in Grand
Grand
Rapids.
What do they want to know about?
I
it?
don't, yeah. What do you
I
guys
don't
want to know? That's a weird question.
It's a cool venue. It's a nice big open, just cavernous room.
Okay. Well, yeah.
That's
There,
all-
there
I
it
don't
is.
know. Shows are good there.
A couple more. If Jordan wasn't a singer, what would he want to be? Is that tattoo artist?
No, I don't think so.
So to take music completely out. If you had to choose a different career,
Yeah.
what's appealing to you?
Well, I've been probably like voiceover stuff.
Voiceover stuff.
Cartoons.
Oh,
Cartoon
sick.
voices, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I could see you being good at that.
Yeah, that's for another time.
And then I think let's kind of Gavin, do you have any other fan questions you wanted to ask?
I do want to know your all-time favorite albums.
Of my
not,
band?
Not your band,
Oh.
just all-time.
Okay. So let's see. The Smiths' Meat is Murder.
I gotta write these down.
My
I'm
Bloody
gonna-
Valentine, Loveless.
Yes, Evan Gavin. Yeah.
My Bloody Valentine's second record, which is self-titled. Let's see. Swerve Driver, Mezcal Head. These are the records I just put on all the time, and it's always on my
It's just always it's
always like my downloaded records, like saved to my phone, or like when I had an iPod,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it was always those records. You said top 5,
Yeah.
and then I guess my 5th one, Green Day Kerplunk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Give me for Bloody Valentine.
My Bloody
Give
Valentine,
me give me like I'm gonna listen to. I have like a 15-minute drive from here,
Okay.
but I want to jam them out.
Yeah.
Give me 3 of their songs.
Okay, just listen to the first 3 of Loveless.
First 3 of Loveless. Okay.
Yeah. Just
I'll send
the
you the
way
link.
Loveless. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy because I've been discovering. I'm stoked for this. I've been discovering new music much more as an adult,
Yeah.
and for some reason, since I've been in LA, I've been here for like the last 15 years, and I haven't dove into discovering new music. And I have so many friends, and you do this too, Gavin. Gavin has been sending me albums to listen to. I think you sent me Sorry So Far, right?
Yep.
And then I was like, damn, this is fucking great. And then a fan the other day.
So you mean new to you?
New
Yeah.
to sorry,
Yes,
sorry,
yes,
sorry. New to me, new to me, new music to me.
Yeah.
And someone sent me like this In Bloom by Neck Deep. I don't know, like 6 months ago, and I was like, this is great. I never heard this before.
Yeah.
And so I'm allowing myself to just genuinely say, I'm gonna go listen to that. So I am gonna go listen to My Bloody
Yeah.
Valentine.
It's
And-
definitely it takes you on a journey. That's for sure. I don't know if you
Yeah?
like them.
I've never listened.
Okay.
So
Like
gonna-
I'm stoked to hear him now.
They're they kind of were in the forefront of like the shoegaze sort of scene, like the
Got it.
just like loud guitars, swirly, just
Sick.
drowned out vocals. Like
Love
it's
that.
just I don't know.
Sick.
I love their records.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Are
up my
there-
alley.
I'm like a fan, like trying to find like imported vinyl, that kind
Oh,
of stuff.
sick. Okay. True fan.
And that record came out in like 91 or I don't even remember. Late 80s, early 90s, and it sounds like modern and cool.
Oh, sick. So
Yeah.
they just did a killer job. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
Are there any pop songs? Are there any pop songs that you're like I think Teenage Dream is one of the best pop songs of all time.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
It's
pop
so
song.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Are there any songs like that where you're like, "Oh, that's just a jam?"
yeah.
Like who are your pop artists or pop songs that you like?
Bye bye bye.
Oh, great one.
You know?
Come on, let's go. In Sync, Bye Bye Bye. Classic.
Yeah, dude. There's a
Like will you put that on and jam out to Bye 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 in your car?
yeah.
Yeah, dude. I love it. I love it.
That record though has a lot of good songs.
Yeah.
There's a band that didn't really do that much, but they were from Sweden and they were called the A-Teens, and they were on our record label. And we were on a major label.
18s.
They did all ABBA covers, but like modern, like pop, like versions, and they were young kids, and I think they were from Sweden too.
The 18s do a Dancing Queen,
They do, yeah.
and it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's so
That
good.
record, because it's all ABBA hits.
Yeah.
It's like, and it sounds like just booming.
Yeah.
You know? It's so
Yeah.
good.
Okay, 18s.
Yeah, the
That's a great one. That's all, dude.
So random.
That's such a random one, but I love it. Did you ever?
Teens, dude. I actually do remember the 18s
Yeah,
is
18s,
ABBA
yeah.
Teens. I remember them on like ABC Family.
Oh,
or something,
probably, yeah, for
like
sure.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Damn.
funny.
2001 or 2 or something.
I would have never expected you to say 18s.
I know,
But
I don't know why
But
that-
I love it so much.
Yeah.
18s. Okay.
Them and another record like that's kind of random. Remember Tattoo? T-A-T-U?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That record was good.
All
they-
the things you said, all
Yes,
the things you
that
said
song-
are
Dude.
running through my head.
That song's
There's
good.
so many bangers on that record.
Oh shit! I gotta visit that whole record.
You should, and they do like a Smiths cover, the How Soon Is Now
Okay.
by the Smiths, which
Yeah.
is rad, you know?
Yeah.
There you go. There's your 18s.
Yeah, that's it.
There
That's
they are.
awesome.
There's the 18s. Whoever can see that. There they are.
I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know how that came to my mind. but
That's dope.
I was like, yeah, I just listened to that the other day.
They're still rocking 440K monthly listeners, so
Wow,
they're killing
okay.
it.
Wow.
And then, wait, who was it after 18s that you said?
Tattoo.
Okay,
Yeah.
Tattoo. That song, it's called
All the things.
All the Things She Said.
All the things she said.
431 million streams.
Okay.
They still have 4.7 million monthly listeners.
Oh my god.
That's wild.
That's
That
a
is
lot.
wild.
And that song came out in 2002.
Yeah.
I guess a
that
lot
is-
of people remember that music video.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Remember that one?
And I think the whole story was like they were lovers,
They-
right?
yeah,
And
they were
but not
lovers,
really or
but not,
something.
yeah, and they were wearing like the school skirts and
Yeah.
ties, and like they were. That was it. Oh, Gavin's over here. Like,
I
yeah,
remember.
you remember? God, Gavin remembers very
was
clearly.
13.
There's
Yeah,
some,
okay.
bangers, there's some
Yeah.
bangers on that Tattoo record. Though.
Okay, sick, dude. I love this. I guess to kind of wrap it up,
Yeah.
let's just talk about tell the people, the E&D fans, what you got going on and
Okay.
what you want them to check out, whether it's going to be a tour coming up or anything
Yeah.
you got
Yeah,
going
what do you gotta
on.
plug?
Yeah. So we have a tour coming up. Well, we actually have a show coming up in July. I don't know when this is going to drop, this podcast, but we have a show July 2nd, us and Fall Out Boy and Bring Me the Horizon in LA, which is going to be awesome. It's in a stadium, which is super cool.
I will be there.
You'll be there. And then we have us and All American Rejects are doing a tour together starting in August. And Get Up Kids are on that, and Starting Line and Motion City Soundtrack are on that on different parts. And When We Were Young Festival.
Sick.
And we have an acoustic record that came out not that long ago, not even a year ago, barely a year ago. And yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's kind of it.
Oh, yeah.
right now.
That's-
But Newfound Glory is always working stuff up. so-
Newfound Glory is always, it's crazy. You
Yeah.
guys have always been active. And like you said, your fans absolutely adore you. And I could tell on the cruise that people were just so obsessed with you guys being there. So
Thanks,
dude,
guys. Hashtag
yeah.
blessed.
Hashtag blessed. Dude, thank you for being on the podcast.
man.
That was
Thank you,
so
guys.
fun. And hey, guys, give it up for Jordan Pundik of Newfound Glory. They love you, dude.